Is it good? Hey honeys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So this video is going to be all about venue tours. We are walking to our first one right now. There's Chandler, we got Ambria, Mama Mare, and we are walking into our first place right now. I got my wedding planning binder with me. I'm so excited. So you guys are going to see all kinds of wedding venues throughout this video. So without further ado, let's just get into it. All right, so here we are at our very first venue. So this is the outside of the building, and I truly do wish that we had gotten some better clips of the actual front of the building itself, just because I think that the outside was so stunning. It had a very castle-like look to it, and it's just something that I really personally enjoyed. So overall, I just think the outside was beautiful. Then we headed inside, and what I really liked about this particular venue was that it actually does have a very rich history behind it. A lot of the pieces you see, the woodwork, the furniture, is all original pieces from the 1920s. So I think that that is something that is super unique about this venue. It was a little bit more old-fashioned for my taste, but I do think overall it was very pretty. So this room that you're seeing here is where the cocktail hour would take place, and as you can see, there are some backpacks and just some other personal items, and that's because this is a community house. So they do not only specialize in private events, they do host other things as well. So the night we were there on the tour, they actually had a sports practice going on. Then we headed upstairs and we started taking a look at the bridal suite. So this is one part of the suite there, and I personally loved that little nook. I just think it had a very charming vintage appeal to it. Like I said, the old-fashioned look wasn't necessarily something I wanted to go for, but once I saw these little pieces, certain parts of it just really blew me away. I was very charmed. Then we actually didn't get any clips of the actual reception ballroom, and that's simply because that's where the practice was taking place, so we didn't want to just start recording people. But overall, we thought the inside was very pretty, just a bit old-fashioned.
How are you liking it?
It's really pretty.
Thumbs up?
Thumbs up. This last room is actually where the ceremony would take place, and this was definitely my favorite room of the venue because this was actually a library, and they still have a ton of original books in here. It's so cool. Please stop making that face. What? Stop doing that. Stop it.
My double chip.
All right, guys, so we just got back from our very first venue tour. It went really well, and honestly, the place was... You good?
It is.
Honestly, the place was really good. Yes, we're in the bathroom right now. I'm about to wash my face, so I was like, Chandler, come in here before I wash my face so we can finish doing our little segment of the vlog today. But anywho, it went really well. The place was really pretty, but please stop. But it was really good. The only problem was we just don't know if it's necessarily going to be big enough. I have a lot of people, especially in my family, so just knowing that we're probably gonna need somewhere around like at least a place that could accompany at least 200 people because
I got that.
because we may have like only 150 or something that show up, but like we need to make sure, since we're gonna be inviting a lot of people, that it can hold if everyone did happen to come. So it was crazy. It was really pretty. It was very like vintage and just like, it was beautiful, but we're not sure. We still have a ton more places to go look at, so we will keep you guys updated. But thanks for coming along with us on our very first venue tour. It's so crazy to know that we are officially planning for the wedding. I'm so excited, but we had fun today and I can't wait to keep looking. Any thoughts? Okay, we'll see you guys on the next one. We are on our way to the second venue tour. Woo! All right, and we're off to venue number 2. So this building also looks really historical, which I think is really cool. And what I do love about this venue is that it is an auditorium. So they do have a full theater inside where they host a bunch of different events. And even though we didn't actually get to see that on this tour and we can't use it for the wedding space, I do still think it's really unique. So what you see here is the upstairs portion of the event space. So the whole wedding would actually pretty much take place in this one big room. This upstairs portion is the cocktail hour space, and they actually have a a really cool way of making it where Chandler and I would be downstairs alone on the dance floor for our first dance, and everyone else would be looking out at us from up top. We fell in love with that idea. So that downstairs portion is where the ceremony and the reception would take place, and we would go downstairs for the ceremony, upstairs for cocktail hour, and then back down for the reception. We'll take a better look at that in a moment, but first, look at this bridal suite. Can you say natural lighting? Oh my gosh, I can only imagine that the photos taken inside of this room would just be breathtaking because of all of that natural light. Then we headed upstairs into the groom's suite, and Chandler really approved of the fact that they had a pool table here. So I do have to say that I feel like a lot of times the venues forget about the grooms, but I do believe that the groom suite and the bridal suite were equally stunning. So here's a better look at the actual ballroom space, and you can see also from this angle how the upstairs and downstairs are connected. I just love how elegant and spacious it is. We fell in love with that staircase, and overall it is just so beautiful. How do you feel so far?
I like it.
Like it?
Mm-hmm.
It is pretty. So this tour was actually part of a taste testing event that they had going on. So we did get to meet with one of their caterers because they do not make the food on site. They do work with outside caterers. Yes, there's me being stupid. But since we did get to meet with one of the caterers, we did discuss some different options, and we are vegan. So having vegan food was really important to us, and they made us a really good vegan dish. Let's see. What is it? A cucumber slice with fresh homemade hummus from scratch with an olive tapenade. Is it good?
Mm-hmm.
Really good. And some free water. They asked if we want mimosas, but you know, we're the most boring 23-year-olds you'd probably ever meet, so we just did water.
You know you ate olives.
I know, and it was good.
All right.
We really appreciated how they reached out to us in advance to cater to any dietary needs that we had for the taste testing, and we both really just liked this venue as a whole. Okay, we're leaving. What's your first initial reaction?
I thought it was very nice.
Thought it was very nice?
Yeah.
It's a contender?
I think it's in there.
All right, well.
Out of the two.
So this next venue that we went to is actually a winery, and originally we weren't sure how we were going to feel about a winery, but once we got here, I have to say it took our breath away. It is so stunning, and it was truly just so beautiful. There was actually a lot of people here this day, and that's because they had a winter event going on, plus it is connected to a restaurant, which is actually one of the reasons why we weren't sure how we felt about it, just because it is connected to the public. So we just thought that that was left a lot of room for something to go wrong. But overall, this place is so stunning. What you see here is the first ballroom's outdoor ceremony space. So we took a look at two different ballrooms, and they both have their own outdoor ceremony space as well as a really great rain option. So this is the first one. This would be the outdoor cocktail hour portion, that little clip, as well as where we're heading to now. So both of these ballrooms do have an indoor and outdoor cocktail hour, which I just think is really nice because I like giving people the option to go in or outdoor depending on what they're feeling. So this here is the indoor cocktail hour space, and this is the first ballroom that we looked at. So of course, this one definitely has more of the rustic look to it. I was very taken aback by how much I actually did really like this, but the rustic look is something that I was not originally anticipating to want to go for. This here is the bridal suite, and it was very nice. Now here we are going into the second ballroom space. So they did definitely both have different outdoor looks as well as indoor looks. And what you're going to see right here at the end of this clip is this ballroom's outdoor ceremony space. This inside part here is the second ballroom's cocktail hour space. So overall, just a lot bigger than that first location. And as you'll see, this is definitely more of the elegant, regal aesthetic as well. Like I said, the first one was more rustic, and this one is just a bit different. So this one, like I mentioned, does also have the outdoor and indoor cocktail hour space. So this is the outdoor portion. They have a golf course as well as tons of acres. So I love how you could see all of that from that location. Here is my ballroom. This is definitely the one that I was gravitating towards. This one really took my breath away. I love how clean and minimalistic it is, and it's just so beautiful. I also really love that staircase. Me and Chandler also really liked that green wreath around the chandelier. It was very nice, and I love that staircase just because it's like the perfect way to make your grand entrance. Here is the bridal suite for the second ballroom location, and again, just overall a bit bigger and just a different aesthetic. Now here, from within the bridal suite, you can actually peer out into cocktail hour, which I think is so cool because, you know, you can kind of just spy on your guests a little bit without them knowing. This is the speakeasy, which I loved. This is super old, and you can have your rehearsal dinner or an after party here. So awesome. Okay, we just got out. Look at how beautiful. Oh my gosh. This is venue tour number 3. Okay, initial first thoughts.
It's money.
What does that mean? It's expensive or it's like nice?
Nice.
I was like, wait a second, I don't know lingo.
A little expensive, but nice.
All right, it is nice. I don't know. Oh gosh, 3 venue tours down, and I just feel like every tour gets like better and better. Oh geez. Oh my.
Are you
I should go over there.
Oh
Oh, thank you.
my god. Oh my god.
Wow.
Wowzers.
Wowzers is right.
Wowzers.
Is right, okay? Wow.
My heart just dropped. All right, guys, we're at our next venue tour. This is the venue of literally my absolute dreams.
This is pretty nice. Like, it's actually pretty nice.
But, you know, it's also the most expensive by a landslide. So, you know, we'll see. But it's fun to dream a little bit, right? Like Walt Disney said, it's kind of fun to do the impossible. All right, so here we are. I actually didn't get a lot of clips from this venue, and that's just because we were really trying to take the whole tour in. We were super mesmerized by its beauty, and we were just really trying to appreciate the whole thing. But since we didn't get a lot of clips, I won't really be able to walk you through in a tour type fashion in the same way that I was doing before. But this is a chateau, and it is based on French architecture, and I truly just am in love with this place. I can't say enough good things about it. Like I said, it is my dream wedding location. It is just my absolute ideal venue, and I am just so in love with it. It is truly breathtaking. It has the most beautiful ballroom space, cocktail hour space, the most stunning chapel, and I always did picture myself getting married in a chapel, so the fact that they do offer one here, because a lot of venues don't, is such a plus to me. They also do have an after party option, which I think is just so cool, and I think you guys get the idea. This place is just absolutely breathtaking. Okay, everyone, first initial reactions.
Gorgeous. I love it the most, and I don't even want to see anywhere else.
Beautiful.
It's a dream. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Imagine just spoke to It literally is a dream come true. Like, actually.
Yeah, it's very fitting for you, like, for real. Like, it's like, you wanted the fairy tale, and that's the fairy tale.
That's a fairy tale
I just
right
like
now.
it for the hotel room. Like, I'm cool with the hotel room. But no, it's like the whole thing is gorgeous.
It's
very you.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
20 out of 10.
20 out of 10. I agree with that. All right, so let's just cancel all the rest of the tours for next week. All right, so now we are off to what I believe is the 5th venue tour. So what you see here is the first ballroom, and they do have 2 separate ballrooms on site. This one here would be the one that our wedding would take place in, because this one does hold more people. So we would have it in that space, and this one does have a bridal suite as well as a groom suite. So this little room that we're going into now would be the bridal suite, and it is very pretty. It has that very vintage look, but it does look very clean in there, which I think is really nice. And the only problem with this is that they do not allow you to actually get ready on site, which was a con to us because we did want to be able to do that. What you see here is the grand staircase. So this is where Chandler and I would make our big entrance into the reception, and this here is the groom suite. So we just thought that this was so cool and super unique how they have all of the arcade style games there. We just really liked it. Neither of these suites was too big, but since you can't get ready there, I guess we wouldn't really need that much space anyway. Then here we have the cocktail hour space, and something that I did appreciate was that they said if we have over a certain number of people, they do provide you with 2 cocktail hour rooms. So I thought that that was really nice, so that way your guests don't feel crammed and they can kind of just filter in and out as needed. Then, even though they told us that the second ballroom pretty much would not be able to hold our guest count, we did still want to just peek in and just see what it looked like. So that is where we're headed to now. So this over here would be the cocktail hour space for the second ballroom. As you can see, they do also have that staircase, but it does not lead into the ballroom. It is only into the cocktail hour space. And this is the actual ballroom itself. So this was definitely my favorite out of the two ballroom options. I just really have a thing for those high ceilings and those big open windows. It's just so pretty in my opinion. So that is the second ballroom space, and this one did have a bridal suite, but it was smaller and it did not have any groom suite at all. So here is the chapel, and like I said before, I just think anytime a venue has a chapel on site, it is just such a plus, and I really did love the inside of this chapel. The outside I wasn't crazy about, but I did really like the inside. And this little room here is the waiting room before I would walk down the aisle. So I did also really like the outside portion of this venue because I just think that it has so many really great photo opportunities out here. There are a lot of really fun and beautiful places to take photos out here, which I just think is awesome. You can get really creative with it. Like I said, they do have two separate venues, which means that they would be hosting two weddings at the same time. They did say that they do separate them by a few hours, and the teams really just kind of make sure that they are going to be keeping the wedding separate. So both of the bridal teams would just make sure of that. And I trust them. They've been around for a long time, so I'm sure they know what they're doing. Over here, we have a Love Park replica, which is in Philly, as well as a Philadelphia Art Museum replica. So both, again, really cool photo opportunities. And this here is their rustic pavilion. So in here, you can get married. You can have your ceremony in here. But even though that's not where we would be choosing to host our wedding, we could still go in there for pictures, which I think is really cool. And I do also like how they do have several different options to cater to everyone's needs and desires, because as we know, everyone is different.
Channy, initial reaction?
It was nice.
It is very nice. Oh gosh, this is getting difficult.
All right, you guys, we're at our second to last venue tour. Ooh. All right, you guys, second to last venue. Yes, we're almost done. So this venue is actually an inn. So as you can see here, it has a very hotel type look to it, and that's because it is an inn. So this space here would be the cocktail hour space, and it is just very comfortable and laid back, which I really like. These doors open to lead out into the outdoor ceremony space. So that is where I would walk out to make my entrance into the ceremony. Down here, we would do a wine or beer tasting, and this is all real pieces, original pieces from the 1800s, because it actually used to be a little general store down there, which I just think is so awesome. So like I said, it is an inn, so here are some of the guest rooms, and we actually really liked the guest rooms. We also really appreciated how they did have overnight accommodation spaces just right on property. It made everyone's lives a lot easier, and this was definitely the furthest location. This venue was about an hour and a half away from home. So we did really appreciate how they had something like that there. So a lot of our guests could feel comfortable enough to just stay overnight if needed. That wasn't a great view, but you could definitely see outside there, and we'll take a better look at the view in a moment. But this view here is literally stunning. This here is the groomsmen suite, and again, Chandler was very excited about the fact that they had a pool table. This was definitely the nicest groom suite. It was huge, very spacious. It just is so comfortable, and it just looks so nice. So after that, we headed outside, and outside, what we took a look at first was the fire pit. So that's what you see here, and this is actually where an after party could take place. So you make s'mores there, they do hot dogs, all kinds of stuff like that, and they also do a sparkler send-off included, which I think is really cool. So now here we are headed outside to where the ceremony space would be. And I didn't mention this before, but Chandler and I actually did not want an outdoor ceremony until we saw this outdoor ceremony space. So this whole outdoor portion is just so stunning. It does sit on the lake, which of course is the biggest selling point. So outdoor ceremonies are kind of the norm here, and we fell in love with it. It is so beautiful. This here is the ballroom, and if it did rain, or if we did choose to want to do an indoor ceremony, we would use this ballroom as the ceremony and the reception, and we could still look out over the lake if we did choose to have the ceremony in this location. We weren't crazy about this ballroom. It wasn't necessarily what we had envisioned for our ballroom space, but I do have to say, that overall it was still seriously beautiful. Anytime you see that lakeside view, it just takes your breath away. It is seriously so nice. The whole outdoor portion of this whole venue was just absolutely breathtaking, and we truly fell in love with just the way the whole place was set up. So now here is the bridal suite, which I absolutely adored, and my eyes are going crazy because I was trying to take a picture of Chandler and I, but we really, really liked this bridal suite. It was very big and spacious, and this bridal suite actually had a bed inside of it, which we could stay over there the night of the wedding, so Chandler and I would have a place to stay. And that really nice balcony looking over the lake doesn't hurt either. Also, we loved this tub. So I think it's safe to say overall, this one definitely took our breaths away, and we truly just fell in love with the whole venue. Okay, my hair looks crazy, but we just got out of our last venue. And Chan, any initial thoughts, reactions?
So nice.
So nice. It is really, really nice. Mom, reaction?
Beautiful.
Beautiful. We have to stop looking at places because my head hurts. It's so, so nice. Totally different atmosphere from what I was originally expecting to want. And I love it. And we all love it. And it's so hard because Hi definitely threw a wrench in our plans. All right, folks, and we are finally arriving to our very last venue tour. So this is actually a venue that I decided to schedule a tour for pretty last minute, and I do have to say I'm very happy that I did. I think we were all pretty pleasantly surprised by how much we really ended up liking this venue. This definitely mimics the atmosphere of that dream venue that I was talking about that you guys saw previously, and overall it is just really pretty here. So when you first walk in, you have this foyer, and there are chairs set up there because that is actually a ceremony space option. That definitely wouldn't work for the amount of people that we are planning on having, but I do think that it is really cool that they do offer that as a ceremony space. So since we wouldn't be having our ceremony there, we would be having it in this room. This isn't my ideal ceremony location, but I do think overall it was very, very pretty. And since we wouldn't be having the ceremony in that outdoor space, they would just remove those chairs and it would be part of the kind of location for where you can filter out into cocktail hour. So this ballroom here is very similar to the ceremony space, but this is actually the cocktail hour space. And like I said, the guests could filter in from this room out into the foyer, and there is actually a bar out into that other foyer location as well. So then we headed upstairs and we started looking at the suites, and this here is the groom's suite. So this was very, very nice, and it did have an outdoor balcony, which we really thought was awesome. And here is the bridal suite, which we also really fell in love with. This also has that outdoor balcony space, which we really liked, and we loved those oval windows because we just thought that they would be so cool for photo opportunities. Overall, the suites were beautiful. Now here we are waiting to make the big ballroom reveal. We were really excited about this ballroom because we had heard really great things about it, and we were not disappointed. Just look at how stunning this ballroom is. It does have the 2-floor effect, which we thought was really cool, and it also reminded us a lot of Beauty and the Beast, which we were absolutely in love with. That stage up there is actually where the band or DJ could get set up, which we really loved the idea of that. And if you do have over a certain number of guests, they can set up additional tables upstairs. But even if you don't, you can still go upstairs, and there's the view from how the whole ballroom looks from that upstairs angle. Overall, we really, really loved this ballroom. And here's a quick little view at what the bathroom looked like because that was really pretty as well. Hi, Ambi.
Hi.
How do you like it?
I love this place. 15 out of 10. Amazing.
Wow. Okay, that's a high rating, Ambi.
15 out of 10.
Look at you.
Like you dark better. Look at this. Look at that. No, it's not that bad.
Okay, guys. Final reactions.
15 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
You said 25 out of 10 for something, for 20 out of 10.
Okay,
for it.
Mom.
I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it.
They were the most boring final reactions I've ever. Yeah, I liked it. Couldn't even look up from her phone. Yeah, I liked it. All right, friends, and now you have officially seen all of the venues that we toured. So now you can enjoy some of these random clips of B-roll footage that I was recording to and from some of the venue tours. And as you're watching this, I'm just going to talk to you guys about some of my final thoughts. So I do first just want to say that at the time of me editing this video, Chandler and I have not come to a final decision about which venue we are going to pick yet. I don't know if we've made a decision after this has been posted, but as of right now, we have not made a decision. So I do also want to say, though, that each of the venues that we toured really did just have a unique and individual appeal about each one. There was something really special about each venue that we looked at that we really did love and enjoy, and it made this process really hard because we really did fall in love with something at each place. I do also want to say, however, that after looking at all of the places, we have cut a few of them from the list. I'm not going to say which ones, but there were a few that we have cut out of consideration, and we have narrowed it down to just a few of our favorite top options. So that is not to say that they were not all beautiful, because like I said, we really did like each one, but we have narrowed it down to a few of our top favorites. When we were going on these tours, there were a few things that we were looking for. One of those was the ability to be able to have an after party. We also really liked the option to be able to get married inside of the same place, which all of the places we looked at did allow you to have the ceremony on site, which was really great. Something we did not like, though, was having the same section be flipped from the ceremony into the reception. We did like the ability to have the ceremony in one space and the reception in its own space. So that was something that we were keeping in mind as we were looking at all of these different venues. And we also just really liked the ability to be able to hold a lot of people, since that is definitely something that we would need with the guest count. And we were also considering the places that would offer vegan options, because like I said, Chandler and I are vegan, so we definitely did have to keep that in mind for our sake. Thankfully, all of these places did offer vegan options. Some were better than others, but thankfully they were all very considerate of it and willing to accommodate in any way that they could. Overall, like I said, these venues were all very, very nice. They had accessibility in all of them, which was great. And like I said, I just definitely think that there were a lot of pros for each one. Chandler and I did make pros and cons lists after every single one. And like I said, we've narrowed it down, so we will definitely keep you guys updated when we make our final decision. But for now, thank you guys so much for coming along on these venue tours with us. And I can't wait to keep you guys updated with the rest of the wedding content. See you soon.